Peace, everyone. Whoever is joining me or whoever clicked on my video today, thank you for joining me. And the title, you can see, I will be recapping and speaking a little about House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 1. So I'm losing daylight here. I think this will be my new recording spot. I haven't recorded in quite a while, and I moved locations, and I think this will be a good spot. So I'm losing light as we go, so let me get right to it. But listen, nothing but death could keep me from this review today, recording this video, because it's been a long time. I'm trying to get to it. I've been watching the shows as they've been coming on, but I just haven't been able to get time to make this video. So no matter what, tonight or this evening, should I say, I'm going to record episode 1, and then no later than tomorrow, but I'm gonna say possibly Sunday, I'll do episode 2. No, episode 2, but no, I want to do it tomorrow because I want to be on track for episode 3. So that's the goal. Okay, so I just had to recap this show because I didn't used to be on YouTube when I was watching Game of Thrones. Now, I wasn't a die-hard, go all out, Game of Thrones is my life type of person, although it's my favorite show of all time. It's my favorite show of all time. I've never been so into a show that, see, I'm the type of person, especially at this time in my life, I'm the type of person that is set in my ways. So it's not, look, I'm trying to get the viewer to come back on and show me while I'm doing the video, because I got this GoPro camera, and the last time when it did this, I just put my finger up here and my picture just popped back up. But now all of a sudden, oh, that's what you do, you tap the back. Okay, excuse me for that. I'll be more professional going forward. Tap the back now, I know, so that won't happen again. So I was saying, I love Game of Thrones. My daughter, I have an older daughter, you know, who's, all right, I could say, I have a 19-year-old daughter, and she just shakes her head at me because I watched Game of Thrones. I started watching it during the season, like the break between season 7 and season 8. So when I started watching it, there was only 4 months before season 8 came out. So much respect to the real die-hard Game of Thrones fans. Let me tell you that. I have the utmost respect for you, because for me to be disappointed the way I was of how they ended this show, how it felt so rushed to me, just the way they rushed it. Oh, I was hot. I was on fire. Let me tell you. So, and I see some reviewers who say, oh, I don't understand what the issue was with it. My thing is, yes, we don't control the show. You know, there's the, you know, they're in a position to, you know, put the content out. But it was clearly rushed. Like, it was ridiculous. Definitely season 8, and there were definitely good things in it, you know, and I still love it. I still would sit up here and watch it. So you know that now by the time it comes to, I don't even trip off of what was that, episode 6, where they're all sitting in the dragon pit, and that foolishness there, the whole Edmure sit down uncle, the Grey Worm letting Tyrion talk like that. Just, it was so much to it. Just who has a better story than Bran the Broken? You know, like, what do you think I came all this way for? So I'm all right with it now. Like, I can laugh about it, but I know some people are highly offended, so I'm not making light of it. So anyway, look, I'm 5 minutes into this video and I didn't get into it yet. So, but this is the initial video, so hopefully I could give you a little background and you will stick with me. So, but I am going to get into House of the Dragon right now. So I was very excited for this. I was very optimistic. You know, I haven't read the books. Once I got into Game of Thrones so much, I did start listening to the audiobooks years ago, and you know, they were interesting and things like that, but I was into the show, and you know, my time is very limited, and yeah, I just went ahead and watched the show instead, and I never continue with the books. So I haven't read what is it, Fire and Blood is this one, but I haven't read that. But I am very knowledgeable as far as the shows go and how the houses go and all of that. I'm very observant, and so let's go. I'm gonna get into it because I don't want y'all to leave me. It's already 6 minutes. Okay. And I'm not going to do this going forward. So let it be known, going forward, I will get into the episode way earlier. All right. So I have some notes here, but I also have my laptop here because I did lose some of my notes in all this time that it took me to get this together. So yes, I'm being unprofessional. I don't have it all together, but wait till episode 2. I'm telling you, I'm on it. All right. So here we go. House of the Dragon, season 1, episode 1. It shows on HBO Max Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Make sure you subscribe to HBO Max. Okay. So, Rhaenyra Targaryen is doing this narration in the beginning to kind of tell you where it's set. She's going to say that at the end of the narration. That is her. But what she says is, in the 100th year of the Targaryen dynasty, when they were at their height, they had like 10 adult dragons flying around. Woo! Can you imagine? So they had 10 adult dragons flying around. And at the height of their dynasty, King Jaehaerys was on the throne. And he had been ruling for about 60 years. All right? 60 good years, they say. But he was getting sickly. He was getting older. And he knew he had 2 sons, but they died of some sort of tragedy. And so he had to go ahead and name an heir. And so he decided that he pulled together 1,000 lords from all the houses, and they met up at Harrenhal, and they all voted. So they had like the big bin thing that I seen on TV in the past for when they were choosing like class president and all of that. I never saw that happen in real life that way, but it was always like on Saved by the Bell and all that. They always had it like that. So anyway, they tallied the votes. So they say there were 14 people in the running, but only 2 were seriously considered. And those 2 were Rhaenys Targaryen, who was his oldest descendant, and then Viserys. So just like Viserys. Yeah, Viserys. So that would be like Daenerys's brother, crazy behind, was named after this Viserys. But this Viserys is nothing like his crazy behind. So that's he was lucky to be named after this kind, sweet man here. So they vote. So and Viserys was his oldest male descendant. So truthfully, it should have gone to Rhaenyra, but they went ahead and voted, and everybody voted for Viserys. They weren't ready to see a woman on the throne, and that's how it went. So you can see when they announced it, you see Rhaenyra standing there and she's standing there with obviously her husband, dark-skinned black dude with blonde dreads, you know, and so she kept her chin up when they chose Viserys, when they announced it, but her husband had the little angry little look a little bit. You could tell he wasn't happy about that. Yeah. So I heard another one of my reactors call him Milli Vanilli, boy. Oh my goodness. If y'all don't know who Milli Vanilli is, I was dying. Oh my goodness. And Mr. Williams is his name, but I can't remember what his channel is, but I'm gonna make sure I shout it out to give him that respect that I stole that Milli Vanilli from him, that I mentioned that, cause that was cracking up so bad. Cause these wigs, they really need to stop. Like, it look okay some days, but my thing is, you have to have ethnic hairstylists to be able to come in and whip these styles up and things like that. Cause excuse me, but girls wear they call them faux locks. That is an actual hairstyle these days, and they faux locks be just as shiny, just as neat. Now this hair ain't faux, baby. This is all natural, real. But the faux locks is a hairstyle, and he could have got them done like really, really nice. But sometimes, like in the hair light, I can see when the light hits his hair, sometimes see little strands going astray and everything like that. So yes, you wouldn't say that, but I just wanted to say that they could have gotten his hair done better. And for anyone who thinks that it's unrealistic for him to have platinum blonde hair like that, that's actually, there are all different people of color come in all shades and forms. So I've seen in the past, like even if you Google it, you can Google dark skin, blonde hair, blue eyes. There are like tribes and things on I believe Asia. They have some dark skin, platinum blonde hair, blue eyes to this day. Yeah, but they just don't show them on TV and all of that. So don't think that is unrealistic. Okay, so let's go. So that was that. They chose him. So then they switched to a little part that says that, okay, now we're starting 9 years into King Viserys's reign. So that is where the show is actually starting. So boom, we're into it. So then they start off with the skies, with the clouds. Beautiful sky, beautiful, breathtaking, but it's so still. You just know a dragon is about to bust through. So a dragon busts through. And so it's a smaller type dragon. You can see somebody on it with a saddle and everything. So she lands. Turns out that is her, Princess Rhaenyra, on her dragon. So she hops off. There's a king's guard there greeting her, and so then she goes on. A young lady greets her. So these people turn out to be, that Kingsguard who's guarding her is Sir Harold Westerling, who's actually going to turn out to be the Lord Commander, I believe. When the next Lord Commander is going to pass away in another episode. And that's not a spoiler, because it's not of no importance really. It's just that he became the Lord Commander. So and the girl is Alicent Hightower. Okay, now I haven't watched any of the trailers or anything like that because I didn't want to. I just want to be surprised. So there's certain things that I keep hearing. I hear little people saying in recaps and things like that that are kind of spoiling things for me. But it's okay, you know. But I'm not going to do that. So she runs into her girlfriend. That's like, you can tell they're like good friends as she comes off her dragon and stuff. So boom. They get in a carriage. They're on their way. Now, when she was flying, I'm like, is that the first thing I saw, I was like, that's King's Landing. But then as they started showing it more closely and stuff, I said, oh no, I thought that was King's Landing, but that's way too clean and beautiful, you know? But come to find out, yes, it is King's Landing. But if you think, that's what, they said it was 170 something years prior to the Mad King and Daenerys being born, when Jaehaerys chose the heir. So you see, it's like darn near 200 years ago. So just think of like New York City or Philadelphia or something like that. 200 years ago, stuff was clean. You remember like on Cheers, when the show Cheers was coming on, they showed like the horse and carriage and all that stuff in Boston, and it was looking all nice. Boston don't look like that no more, boo. I guarantee you. So anyway, I digress so much. I'm gonna work on that, okay? So they her and Allison go on into the city. So Rhaenyra ends up coming in, and her mother is there. Her name is Queen Emma, and she's there all big and pregnant, you know, and people are all, you know, fussing over her and things like that. So she come talk to her mom for a moment. You can tell she really love her mom. She try to check on her mom, make sure she's good and everything. So that's that. And the main thing her mom said in that scene was, you know, well, one thing she said, she smelled of dragon. She like, go take a bath, you smell like dragon at the end. At the end of that scene. But she said that their royal wombs are their battlefield. Because the daughter, you know, she wants to be, she kind of similar to Arya a little bit with her attitude about things. Like, she want to be in the mix. She want to be out there, you know. She don't want to lay up and have a baby. Like, that's not in her goals, you know, at this time or whatever. So her mother said, you know, that's our responsibility. Basically, that's their battlefield. Okay? And that's very true. So next scene, we go on, and so the next thing it goes to is the King's Council. So they're in the meeting, sitting around the table, and when they first show, they show King Viserys. He looks so sweet, he's so nice, oh. But he was leaning forward, and he's like, something like, I told them, maybe you looking at the wrong side. He called himself making a joke. And then he started laughing, cracking up at himself. And everybody like, ho, 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 ho. All kissing his behind. That corny joke. So, and look, so everybody just sitting up there fake laughing off his little whack joke or whatever. Then you just see the black dude with dreads just sitting up there like, anyway. Anyway. So he's saying that, let's see. So he said there's a growing alliance in the free cities calling themselves the Triarchy. They're gathered at Bloodstone, ridding the stepstones of pirates. And the leader is calling himself the Crab Feeder due to his method of punishing his enemies. And the king like, okay, they killing pirates? Ain't that good news? And so then was it at that time the king's hand, Otto Hightower, busted in and started, no, all right, so yeah, the Master of Coin jumped in and said that the king's brother says the city watch needs more money. He should attend the council meeting to explain the cost that he need. So then here come Lord Corlys. That's the black dude with dreads. Let me stop calling him the black dude with dreads. His name is Lord Corlys. So Lord Corlys jumps back in saying, it's important not to let the Triarchy get out of hand because they could cripple the port. And then that's when Otto jumps in, the king's hand. He jumps in rudely, speaking for the king. And he's going to do this very often going forward, I see. So he's speaking for the king and say, the crown heard your report. Take it under advisement. And then Corlys just sitting there looking like, this dude. So that was that. So then the king's hand said, shall we talk about the tournament? And the king like, gladly. So I can see that King Viserys is similar to King Robert in a way. In the way of King Robert, you know, he don't like talking about, you know, important things and things like that. But one thing I can say about King Robert, though, a threat, King Robert gonna talk about a threat. Now, King Robert, I'm talking about off of Game of Thrones for people who possibly didn't watch Game of Thrones. But I believe that King Robert is going to pay attention to a threat now, okay? So that's one thing. But he does like to spend money and do all type of things. But if something is threatening like this, I believe King Robert would have paid attention to it. So anyway, we now talk about King Robert. Okay, so the king is talking about the tournament coming up. He says the queen is having a boy. He knows it. The maester says there's no way of predicting that, but the king just know up and down. He like that. She got a son in her belly. So that's it. Next scene, the princess is walking again with Sir Harold Westerling, and she's like, does my dad know he's here? And then he's like, no. And she like, good. So then she walks into, what they call that, the throne room on the original Game of Thrones. So it's just amazing on this show. And the way it was lit, oh, it was just breathtaking. So she walks in, and like Sir Harold Westerling, he see gods be good, I believe he said, because somebody's sitting on the throne. Lean dog, chilling, like, shh. So as she walking up, you see, you know, he got very long hair, you know, and so she asked in Valerian, I believe it's Valerian that they used to speak, but she said, what you, basically, excuse me, uncle, what you doing sitting in my dad's chair? And so then he stand up, tall, elfly looking man. Look, why I say that on my thing, elfly looking man? Guys, he remind me of an elf, but as time, right, all I had to, just a little couple, one scene, and all that little elf feeling I had for him was gone, because that's my guy, okay? He is not no elf to be played with. If he is an elf, he one of them elves that be, you know, hurting people. So, anyway, he basically come up and say, till your mom have a boy, I'm the heir. I'm next up. So he had her turn around. He put a necklace on her neck, very tender and loving with her. And that's Damon, her uncle, and the king's brother. And so he gives her a necklace, and it's made out of Valerian steel. And she said, like, dark. Oh, I know y'all know this, but it's his, I guess that's his sword he carries called Dark something. So so that's that. On to the next scene. It's Alicent and Rhaenyra. I'm not gonna spend time on that. They're laying down like in a field. I'm gonna have to do something about that light, huh? So they're sitting in a field, and like Rhaenyra is laying over Alicent's lap, and Alicent is like testing her. You could tell she kind of like her tutor. That's probably part of her little duties, is to keep her on her studies or whatever. So she asking her questions and stuff, and Rhaenyra is just like, you know, not worried about it, like she not into it or whatever, and she just basically saying, and Alicent like, aren't you worried about your position, you know, with your father having a baby or whatever? And she like the position I'm in right now, and so it's like she not too worried about ruling and all of that. She just want to go fly dragons and be in the sky and be free and all of that. That seems to me like more of her concern. Look, I got this chocolate cake right here. I'm not gonna be greedy and eat it during my video like people I seen. Now I ain't seen nobody eat no chocolate cake, but I want that cake. Look. All right, so I'm putting the shade down so I could turn the light up a little more. So back to business. So they're laying there, and so she was asking her questions, and it seemed like Rhaenyra didn't know the answers and things like that. But then, excuse me for a moment. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it seemed like Rhaenyra didn't know the answers, but afterwards she ended up just start spouting off like the houses and who was in what house. Look at this. Oh. There she go. So, all right. So she knew the answers or whatever. But you could just tell their friendship is just very close and very loving. And that's how it comes off for sure. So, off that, I spent too much time on that anyway. So, on the next scene, the king is leaning over a chair, and you have all these people tending to, like, his shirt is up, and he got this nasty behind wound on his back. When I tell you, it looks so pussy, and oh my gosh. So let me see, about the size of it, I would say is like maybe even like a 50-cent piece, or a little bigger than a 50-cent piece. And it's on his back, and it looked like it got pus, and they was doing something with it, like with a Q-tip. Not a Q-tip exactly, but and so the king was saying the Citadel hasn't been able to really put a finger on what he has going on his back, and they don't know what's up. And the maester suggests, oh, and he said he got it from sitting on a throne. And the maester said they should cauterize it, but it will hurt very badly. And the king just walked out swiftly, like, very well. So cauterize it, you know. To me, that's reminded me of when Jamie lost his hand, and what they had, what crazy behind little dude had to do to his hand, and like put hot heat to it to like seal it up, like, and like kill the infection and seal it up, like. So if Jamie could do that with his hand without even no type of, you know, then the king could do that to his back right there. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but the maester gonna tell him, like, it's gonna hurt. Like, they really think he is sucker. Like, look, just because he is nice does not make him a sucker. That's what people don't understand about people, okay? So I'm gonna let you know that. So, okay. So, next scene, the queen is in the tub, and the king walks in. Remember, she's pregnant. She big and pregnant. So she in the tub trying to get some relief. And I know, you know, women to tell you, during pregnancy, especially when you get big and everything, bath can really give you some relief. So she just trying to get some relief. So she said she should just talk about basically her pregnancy being miserable. And so she asked if he heard, another thing, she asked if he heard from his beloved brother. And the dad said, the husband said, not since I named him to the city watch. And he said, but I'm sure he'll show up for the tournament. And so she said the tournament to welcome your heir, the heirs tournament to welcome your son. And he like, it's a boy, I guarantee you. And she like, you know, you can't make a thingy grow if it's not one there, you know, basically. And then he said it's a boy. He never been more certain. He had a dream so clear. His son was born wearing Aegon's crown. He placed him on the throne, etc., etc. And so he had this dream. But just like how I know Game of Thrones to be, you know, dreams just aren't always what they seem. So that just, you know, who knows? You know, people, dreams could be misinterpreted, or it could be for another time, or what have you. So anywho, she told him this has to be, she got real serious and sad, but she basically saying like, look, this is our last chance. So I mean, I hope it is a boy, and if it ain't a boy, like, we just don't have no boy. And she was real sorry, like, I'm sorry that if I failed you, you know what I mean? I was supposed to provide you an heir. And but she said, you know, she lost 5 children in the last 10 years. So let me see. She said she had 2 cradle deaths, 2 stillborn, and 2 miscarriages. That's 6. So I'm wrong on one of them. One of them was only 1. Yeah, the cradle death was 1. So 1 cradle death, 2 stillborn, 2 miscarriages in 10 years. Do you know how painful that is for a woman to go through all of that? And a man too. I'm not making light of what a man will go through with their children actually being born. You carry a child for 9 months, your baby sleep in the crib and die. You can't understand. So I just don't want that to slip past people, you know, that what she had gone through with, like, and why she said what she said. So, like, it's done. And why he couldn't even say nothing. Like, he couldn't even say nothing about that. Because it's true. So, that's that. So, they moved on to the next scene. So, boom. All right. So, all right, let me hurry up a little more, too, because I'm 30 minutes in. All right, so the next thing, it started like boom, 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 boom. You see all these soldiers, thumping their armor like boom, 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 to the beat, to the beat, to the beat. So, then, here you go. Damon walked up. Somebody like, Commander on the floor. And see, I was in the service, so I know when they say, officer on deck, you know, whatever, however you call it out, you know, that's serious. So here comes Damon. Looking so sharp. And I just love a man that just stands tall. And just the way he stands tall and the way he goes to the side with it like this. Like, that's my guy. So, he said, when I took over the city watch, basically, y'all was some little mongrels, little hungry, little bummy johns. That's my slang. But he say, but now I look over you. He like, man, y'all some howling beasts ready for the hunt, basically. And they like, oh. So he got them all hyped. He like, my brother's city has fallen into squalor. And he like, people running through here doing what they want to do and all that. Thinking like they just going to do whatever they want to do in my brother's city, pretty much. He like, yo, tonight we gonna show them. Look, I don't even remember what he said, but nah, I'm not even gonna ruin it and look at the notes. Cause basically he like, tonight we gonna show them, have some respect for the gold cloak. They gonna put some respect on our name. Then he was like, let's go. Basically they like, regulators, mount up. Yo, he hyped them up so much. Then they just all took off in formation, like into the city line. So that was it. They start, now this one, it got disgusting and brutal. It was, see, I can't take that even Game of Thrones, you know, the parts that were like really, really brutal and disgusting and graphic and things like that. I saw those parts one time. Once I saw them one time, I never looked again, you know. And so no matter how many times I watch Game of Thrones over and over, I don't rewatch. I don't want to become to the point where I'm desensitized to this type of horror that they put on TV now and things. But nevertheless, they go through the city, they start beating people down, stuff like that. Then they just start calling out their crime like, thief. Was a thief, they just chopping hands off. They just socking people. They just got people in the corner like, ooh. Like, they just terrorizing everybody who out there. So I don't know how they had it so on point supposedly about who did what and how all of them just happened to be outside. Maybe they did this like at a late enough hour. Because, you know, late enough hour, they say, you know, ain't nothing in the streets but trouble with criminals and HO, you know, you fill in the rest. But so maybe that's the type of thing that they just kind of, and then they had people who supposedly did certain things. So anyway, thief, they cut his arm off. They talking about raper. And I didn't even look at this part, like, even I don't even need to see that the first time. Because when I heard him say raper, I knew where they was going with it. So I didn't look at it. But I heard some other recappers saying what they did. Cut off his manhood or something to that effect. And then they, like, they just tearing people. I mean, they just brutalizing, like, just cutting off body parts and just going crazy. And the people just screaming like, no, help. So then they had some man, they was holding him down, all this stuff. I think they said murderer. And then Damon walked up, because you know he was walking through the streets with his whole armor on and stuff like that. And I didn't really notice his armor. I just saw how bad he looked. So I didn't really notice his armor till like the next scene, the next couple scenes later. So, but he walked up and then he just chopped the bull head off. And then he just picked up the bull head and threw it in the, like big cart, like horse-drawn carts, like just full of body parts, like just disgusting. But, so that was that. Cut to the next scene. Otto, the king's hand, walking next to the king, in his ear, like, yeah, look, let me see. I want to read my notes on this. So he like, your brother rounded up criminals of every ilk, ended up with a full cart of dismembered parts. Damon made a show of it. He can't be allowed to act without impunity. So he's saying that while he walking with the king towards the meeting, where the council, where they sit at the table. And so Damon was already sitting in there as he walking in talking about him. And he like, what were you saying about impunity? And the hand like, that brutal display is not how we do things. Yeah, it's not how we do things. And then Damon basically was saying, people from all over coming to the tournament coming up. You want them mugged, raped, murdered. He like, I know you used to being in a red keep where it's all safe at, but I got news for you, because now King's Landing has a reputation for being lawless, terrifying to people. And our city should be safe for all people. And the king like, I agree. And I hope you don't have to maim half of the city to make it happen, though. And Damon like, time will tell. And so, Lord Corliss jumped in and said, we chose Prince Damon to promote law and order. The crooks should fear the city watch. And the hand like, oh my goodness, I don't even want to tell y'all what he said. I know y'all might have saw it. Y'all probably saw it. He gonna come out his mouth and say, now this the hand, Otto Hightower. If only the prince would show the same devotion to his wife. It's been a long time since you've been at the Vale to see her. Now, I'm done with dude. I felt from the beginning, I'm like, I don't like this dude. Like, why he always in the king's ear? Like, he always in the king's ear, got something to say. Da, 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 da. He speak for the king, this and that and that. He gonna come ask that man, I wish, or he just gonna come say, I wish he was concerned about his wife as much as he is about his job. He ain't been in the Vale in so long. Mind your business when it comes to that man and his wife. Ooh. I wonder if I'm loud, y'all. Did I do this whole recording loud? I hope nobody don't got headphones on. It might be loud because this is my first time using this GoPro. So after this, I promise, next video, if I'm loud, I'm not gonna be loud like that again. Okay? So, but I'm getting a little irritated with Otto, so I know my voice was a bit elevated for sure. But he gonna ask him. He gonna tell him he wish he'd be more concerned about his wife. That's what you don't do. You don't get into a man and his wife business. And then he gonna do it at the table with the king. See, he keep doing that. He keeps saying little slick stuff and talking down on Damon 24. Not just Damon, but a lot of people, but especially Damon. You could just see he one of them people that like to be, he want to be in his ear about his brother. You know what I mean? So, woosah. Dang, am I even halfway through this joint yet? So look. So, yeah. But I was just saying, you could see that they dislike each other clearly. And I clearly see why. Like, I could see how Otto act, and Damon is not the one for that. Oh my goodness, so irking. So, Damon says something like basically, look, if you want a woman to keep your bed warm so much, go get her. You can have my wife. You want her, go get her. He like, yeah, because your wife died recently, didn't she? And he was out of pocket. Otto jump up, all mad, across a whole full, big, long, super long table. like he about to, but he ain't jump. You know how when people jump up, they jump up, but they don't leap. You know what I mean? If he wanted to leap, he could have jumped, leap across the table, right on it, start choking. He could have did that, but he wasn't doing all that. He did the little jump up with the little eyes, like. But I know he was just upset. Yeah, so I'm not going. I'm sure he probably would, of all things, if Damon would have been close to him, he probably actually would have fought Damon over that comment there. He would have probably put hands on Damon. So the king basically said, like, man, why you let my brother get to you? You know he always trying to mess with you on purpose. And so then Otto sat down and relaxed. So then the king is like, look, enforce my laws. So he talking to Damon. So he like, look, enforce my laws, but he like, if you ever do something the way you did it last night, you're going to answer for that, though. And so then Damon like, yes, Your Grace, I understand. So then he basically dismissed. And then after he leave, the king says to the whole table, like, King's Landing been in decline ever since my grandmother died. And he like, so the new city watch may be a good thing, you know? And when he said that, they pan over to Otto. Otto like, he like eating a banana like, what is that? What movie is that? Belly. He eating a banana like, I don't like that. I don't like that. Stop it. I can't stand that dude, boy. I see some stuff coming. But more in next episode, it'll prove true. That some of the things I'm feeling are really going on. So the next scene, I believe, is at a whore house, as they call it, and Damon having sex with like a shade knockoff from Game of Thrones. But so she give him a little encouragement or whatever, so you can tell they kind of close. You know, and she being real tender with him. So it's like he really like her or whatever. But it wasn't nothing really to that. So next scene, cut to the tournament. So they at the tournament and everybody just really hype. I'm not going to do a lot about the tournament because I'm just going to say the main key points. Because the point is, yeah, that's an action scene. You know, people want to see that and stuff like that. But as far as important things that happen there, I'm going to try just pull those out. So, at one point, the king said, he stood up and was like, hey, and everybody clapping and stuff. He like, and matter of fact, Queen Emma is in labor right now. Everybody like, ah. So, that was, that happened. And then, you just saw a lot of familiar names and sigils, you know, so that was interesting. You heard Baratheon. You saw, I can't think offhand, like, the different, names and sigils that were seen, because it's been a while since I watched the episode, to be honest. But I did review a little bit of it today, but not the tournament. So, you saw, familiar sigils. That was interesting. So, they just had some fights, and they would someone asked for the queen who never was to come bless his match, basically, and give him good luck type of thing. So she came. She wasn't too mad. She wasn't mad about that they called her the queen who never was, because she obviously very used to that. And so then they go on jousting, you know, people jousting, you know, it's nothing too big. At some point, Damon did come out, and you know, he a real showboater type of dude or whatever. And, you know, it's just his personality or whatever. So, he liked to fight. He liked to show off and stuff like that. So, he came out and he had to choose his opponent. And he ended up choosing Otto, the king's hand's son. He is dirty for that, boy. But, so he chose his son, Otto, rolling his eyes like, yo, this dude. Then he gonna have Otto's daughter, who is, I don't know if I mentioned Alicent Hightower is Otto's daughter. So he had the nerve to come ask her to bless his, you know, his match or whatever. And she had to do it, you know, because he royalty. So that was ignorant. He wrong for that. But so be it. Just like I said, dude asking him when he went to go see his wife, you say something like that to me and I can't smack you, I'm going to get you other little ways, okay? Not me, personally, because I'm not like that. But I mean, like, people like Damon. So, anyway. So, now they're at the tournament. Okay. So, at some point, somebody comes and gets the king. And, like, said, well, first, number one, they go to Otto first, whisper in his ear. Then they come to King. See, it's things like that. Why are you coming to him first? I understand he the king's hand, but I've seen things like this. I've seen things like this happen. I can see it a mile away. He got everybody on a type of thing. They coming through him first. Like, it's just, it's not a good situation. I know why Damon don't like him, man. I don't like him neither. So, that's it. Let me see. All right. What really went on in this show? So, was the king still there? Oh, no. The king was still there all that time. Okay. So, let me make sure I get this right. So, they didn't whisper in the king's ear yet. So, Damon jousting people. He getting the best of people and stuff like that. And then he end up, this guy who Rhaenyra has a little crush on. Oh, man, did I not write his name down? No, I didn't even get to his name. But his name was like Christian something. So Christian something from Dorne. He's a Dornish bull. The princess to have a little crush on him. So he did his joust. Him and Damon started jousting or whatever. And at the end of the day, so who was it? Was it with it was with Otto's son who Damon played dirty and like hit his horse's feet or whatever, made his horse fall down. And I believe that was with Otto's son. So he played dirty, but you know, he got away with it and stuff. I mean, what they gonna do? They did stuff like that in the past. It is what it is. But they didn't kill the horse. I think they learned their lesson from that first Game of Thrones. Want to see stuff like that, man. That's very harsh. So, they showed the horse get up because they just want everybody to know, like, he not dead, y'all. He not dead. So, he did that little dirty move. So, a lot of people, you know, may not be liking him and think he dirty and stuff. I think, you know, he like a jerk, you know. He like a little jerk, but you know, I just still like him or whatever. I think at the end of the day, he a stand-up guy. But it's like, if you got joust him, you just got already know, like, this boy gonna anything go type of guy, you know. So, because, yeah, your horse is in play. Like, unless that's against the rules, which I really don't think that there are rules. Like, I don't think that there are rules like that. Like, oh, you can't do nothing to the person's horse, you know, or whatever. Like, when you fighting, it's whatever, okay? So, that happened. And he ended up jousting the next guy, the guy who Rhaenyra likes. And that guy ended up getting the best of him at the end of the day. Damon was winning, but then Damon started doing that little showboat and stuff, looking to the crowd like that little Hulk Hogan stuff. Oh, that Hulk Hogan, he was ripping his shirt like, oh, what's up, y'all? And the boy got up behind him like, bing, hit him with that ball change on, like, and that's how he ended up getting Damon. So it ain't, you know, whatever. He was getting them in other ways too, but that's how he got him in the end. And Damon said, you. And so then boy tried to come help him up. Damon like, get off me, man. I get up myself. He was salty, but he looked like he'd take a licking. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. A real man, okay? No. You win some, you lose some. Your pride be a little hurt. You know what I mean? But It is what it is. I can respect you because you a little, you showed me something, young boy. You showed me something, okay? So he respect that, but it don't mean like I'm about to hug you, I'm about to be friends. I'm still feel some type of way because my pride, because I'm a man. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, I'm not going to get up and like, I saw some recapper saying, or people who were actually watching it, you know, reactors saying like, oh, he about to do something to him and all that stuff like that. Nah, can't you see? Get that, put some respect on that man's name. That's a man right there. He could lose. It don't feel good, but he could lose. He know. You win some, you lose some. So anyway, I'll just be on, Damon. I gotta chill. So, all right. Oh my goodness, I got so much. Okay, so I'm gonna speed through the rest. So now they come whisper in the king's ear. It's a, you know, these events could have been a little different, okay? So they come whisper in the king's ear, starting with Otto, then to the king. So he leaves. Get in there. The queen is screaming in agony. She's having a very terrible birth. She come in, the maester telling her the baby is breech. For those who don't know, breech mean your baby head's supposed to come out first, okay? Breech mean your baby is turned around, the feet is facing down. So just some people don't know what breech is. So I just wanted to, I wish my video was shorter so more people could catch that, because I think people need to know that. So imagine how painful. It's already crazy when the head coming down. So imagine you got two legs and they probably like holding on to like, I don't want to leave, I don't want to leave. Whew. That is terrible. And then he said they unable to turn it, because what they do usually, the doctors would be able to take your stomach and it hurt a lot, but they got to turn the baby. But they was unable to turn her baby. So that is a situation. You know, nowadays they could just go in, get the baby out, C-section. But back then it wasn't like that. So a C-section is certain death. So that's basically what the maester came and told him, because she's screaming to bloody murder already because it just hurt so bad. And so the maester came and told him, like, look, sometimes men gotta make an impossible choice. He like, you know, it's no, he's like, she is not gonna make it. She gonna lose a lot of blood, you know, and just the baby is breech and just she not gonna make it. And then he like, so if you, and then we might lose the baby in the process too, because they couldn't give her any more milk of the poppy because it would put the baby at risk. So then he's like, all right, that's the choice right there, is we could cut her out. So they basically doing a C-section, but they don't have the technology to do it properly. So they just got to do it, I can't even call it Viking style. Like, they just got to go in there and just get the baby, and she definitely would die. And so he was like, you have two choices. You rather let the guys handle it and just see what God do, or you cut her and make sure you get the baby out. And so he went ahead and made that choice. Then he didn't tell her about it. Like, he just told her they gonna come, they gonna get the baby. He did tell her in so many words. He said they gonna come get the baby. And then she was like, what? Like, she knows, like, something was weird, like, because she had a baby before. She had several babies before, just because her babies died, you know, so she had babies before. So, oh, boy, it was so sad. And for people to sit up there and say that man is weak, talking about, what's his name? Viserys. To say he is weak, you out your mind. For you to sit up there, someone you love, he clearly loved that woman. He had to know that. He had to sit up there and hold her hand and hear that and go through that with her. A lot of y'all people who would call him weak, y'all would not be able to do the same thing. Okay? So, I just wanted to say that. But that was very terrible. It was very, very graphic. And a lot of people were very angry about them showing that. And I didn't watch. You know, I know when certain stuff about to happen. I learned my lesson from Game of Thrones. So I'm like to the corner of my eye. So I saw the basic. But I'm not going to be like all in the screen when I know they about to do something crazy. But yeah, they like showed the hands in there moving and doing all that. And It's the reality of what they had going on in that day. And it's brutal. And they give you an idea of what women go through to bring children into the world. You know, it's a very, very serious, hurtful thing. You know, it's just that now with technology, it's gotten a lot better. But women are still having natural births. You know what I mean? But now, I never heard of nobody having a natural C-section. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about that. All right, moving on. So, she just, the way she was screaming and the pain that that lady went through and the blood, it was just like nothing else I ever seen. So, she passed away. And, the baby, the doctor came up and was like, congratulations, it's a boy. And you kind of heard the baby like making a choking kind of sound, but you didn't really, you know, pay attention to it too much. But then the next scene, they both on a pyre, wrapped up. You can't see them, but first they show the mom on the pyre, and then they, you know, all wrapped up like mummified, like kind of, and then the little one that you know is the baby, and you like, oh my goodness, they died after all of that. They both died. Oh my God. Whew. So Rhaenyra said a little something to Damon about like her dad's heir type of thing, and then it was the dad, you know, looked at her, and then she had to say Dracarys. I don't know how to say it, but you know how Daenerys used to say Dracarys or whatever. I'm not gonna try to say it, but she told her dragon to light the pyre, and so that's how they did that. So after that, what comes next? They were at the table, the round table again, and they were talking about secession. And
my blood.
Look.
And he will have his place at my court.
Yeah. Cause who was that? Otto talking his mess? Obviously. Alright, so the king came. Look, I had to get a refresher. Y'all, this been longer than, it ain't longer than the episode. So Otto brought it up. I consider the matter urgent. What matter? That of your succession. These recent tragedies have left you without an obvious heir. Look. And so, they saying his succession should be firmly in place. And then they said, if Daemon, like one of the maesters pimed in and said, if Daemon was the uncontested heir, you know, it'd be a dangerous thing. And but Lord Corlys, was that Lord Corlys who spoke out for him?
Sit down, my lord. Shall we say his name? Daemon Targaryen. If Daemon
That's Lord Corlys.
Okay.
He said it could destabilize the realm. The maester said that. They saying no one could doubt his ambition. Oh, this is Otto talking. He's saying the City Watch is fiercely loyal to him. 2,000 strong. Ooh, yeah. So, let me get back to that. So, first he complaining that, now he's complaining that Daemon have all the City Watch fiercely loyal to him and this and that and that. And then the king is like, yeah, well, you told me to put him in that job. He like, first, he had another job, and he wasn't no good at that. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna have to look at this. Y'all, don't be mad at me. Next video is gonna be way better. He said, I named him Master of Laws. You said he was a tyrant. Then I named him Master of Coin, and you said he wasn't working at that either. So then you said put him on the City Watch. And now this. So now he talking about, oh my goodness, Otto talking about something. Truth is, Damon should be far away from this court. And the king said, he my brother. That's my blood. Oh my goodness. Let me calm down. Because, ooh, I promise you, I don't like Otto. He out of pocket. Out of pocket is hood language for he is out of line. All right. So now somebody else joined in and said, if a tragedy fall upon you, king, whether by design or by accident, and he like, y'all saying Damon to do something to me? Damon to do something for me? And to me, my brother, my blood? And then they like, shh, everybody looking like, shh. See, but they just don't understand, man. Is my video over? Cause it say 1 hour. Please don't tell me my video is over. I'm not sure. Cause all right. It says it's still recording, so I'm gonna go. But anyway, Damon's standing behind the wall listening. They said that, and so the king is like, that's my brother. That's the bottom line. My brother gonna be here. He like, yeah, my brother, he don't have the patience to want to be on the throne. And so they saying that he also could name a successor. And so they all looking around. So they said who would be who could possibly be named, and then they said Rhaenyra, the king's. Otto said the king's firstborn child, Rhaenyra, and they saying like a girl never did it. They saying Damon to be bad as Maegor, impulsive and violent. Oh, they saying that. Oh my goodness. Otto talking about they need to protect the king from Damon. And he said he not going to choose between his brother and his daughter. And then Corlys said there are others who would have a claim. And then he basically is talking about the queen who never was. All right. So now that's it. They went too far. They was up there arguing about the heir. The king just screamed out, my wife and son are dead. And y'all rats up here fighting over da 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 da. So he got up and stormed off. So that's that. So then they had to just shut up. It was just over with. So, all right. I'm going to speed through the rest. Bottom line, after this, Otto's slimy self sat up there, sent his daughter upstairs to go see the king. He talking about, you should go, his daughter, remember, that's Allison. He talking about, you should go check on the king or whatever. Go see what's up with him, make sure he all right. And then she like, in his chambers or his, you know, whatever they call it. And he like, yeah, and wear one of your mother's dresses. Or whatever. So that show right there, what he was up to, right then and there. I knew I ain't like that dude. So that proved that. And then, after that, what's next? After that, let's see. Then, she went up there and checked on him. She went up there and saw the king. And just asked him, is he all right? She was like, my mom died before. And all I wanted was somebody to ask me to say sorry. So she said sorry. So she was very loving and stuff towards him. So that was it. Next scene. The king is with Otto again. And he say, well, they show Damon at the brothel or what have you. And Damon, he wasn't exactly celebrating. See, to me, because they didn't show a lot of it, but what they showed was he was saying, yeah, for the people who don't like me so much, it ain't so easy to get rid of me. You know what I mean? So he was saying that. And so it was like a celebration type of thing, but like, yeah, it wasn't like it was just, anyway, let me get back to this. So next thing you know, Otto gonna sit up there and come tell the king. He was like, it's something very important that I think you should know. And so he talking about Otto was at the brothel pretty much last night, partying with hoes and just going buck wild, celebrating, and then he titled your son the heir for a day. So, and Rhaenyra was right there. He said it in front of people too. And Rhaenyra was right there. He said that in front of Rhaenyra too. And she was like, cause she already know her father is about to snap. I know it hurt her feelings, but I feel like she already sees what's going on with Otto. You know what I mean? So I don't think it was so cut and dry with her. I think she's hurt regardless over her brother dying. So, excuse me, this part right here. He summoned. He's sitting on top of the king's, on top of the throne. Viserys is sitting on top of the throne with his sword there. He on fire, mad. And he called Daemon to court, them in front of him. And then he like, did you say it? He like, did you say it? And he like, what's going on, brother? And he like, did you say it? Heir for a day? And Daemon like looked down and just like looking to the side. And he like, we all mourning our own ways. The king's so upset. He's so upset.
You've only ever tried to send me away to the Vale, to the City Watch, anywhere but by your side. 10 years you've been king, and yet not once have you asked me to be your hand. Why would I do that?
You keep letting Otto be his hand.
And the blood of the dragon runs thick. Then why do you?
Blood is thicker than water, baby.
I see Otto Hightower for what he is.
Yeah, see him for what he is. I see it too.
Our second son, who stands to inherit nothing he doesn't seize for himself.
Otto Hightower is a more honorable man than you could ever be.
He doesn't protect you.
Whatever. Not true. Alright, so back to that. Yeah, they got into an argument or what have you, and Daemon ain't get down and explain like exactly how that was said and everything, but I know it wasn't said. He know Otto gotten his brother ear already. He like, shh. He know they gonna make it out to seem crazy, whatever it is that he said, like, huh. So they got into it. His brother, Viserys, banished him. He said he's choosing another heir, and he like, I'm your heir. He like, no, you not. And he like, you done. And he told him, go back to the Vale with his wife, get out of here. And so he kicked him out, and Daemon was just so upset, and so he left. So he did call Viserys weak too, because he said Otto won't protect you, I'll protect you. And he said, from what? Protect me from what? He was like, yourself. He was like, you weak. So when he called him weak, that's when he told him, you done. I'm naming a new heir. You out of here. Go back to Runstone with your wife right now, and don't say nothing smart about it, by order of your king. And Daemon start walking up towards them, and they got in the way. But it wasn't even that he was going to go up towards them and do nothing to him. That's how everybody make it out the same. But I know that's not it. Oh, he's so hurt. It made me sad. He's hurt. Daemon is hurt. People don't see it, man. Y'all can't see it. I see it. So anyway, next thing. So Daemon leave. Oh, I'm so hurt about this. So Alicent Hightower meets Rhaenyra in the Sept, and oh, I forgot. King Viserys cut his finger on the side of the throne. Another cut. That ridiculous behind throne. That's ridiculous. And I know that joint is so dirty and germy. Like, stop playing. Oh my God. It's all type of bacteria. So the dad, Viserys, meet Rhaenyra at the Sept first. and he talked to her about being the heir. He hype her up. He talked to her about the past. He talked to her about Aegon had a vision about the White Walkers. Well, he ain't say the White Walkers, but he said about like a long winter and that there got to be a Targaryen on the throne at that time and da-da-da. They don't know when it's going to happen or whatever. So we know that that's Game of Thrones time. So anyway, he named Rhaenyra as his heir. He had to talk with her about it. Then they showed Daemon going to get his dragon, which his dragon is named Caraxes. Caraxes or Caraxes? Because in the beginning, when Rhaenyra was on her dragon, Syrax, I saw this on the closed captioning. Then Allison had said to her, Syrax almost getting big as Caraxes. So Caraxes is Daemon's dragon. So just now they show him with his prostitute girl, and they was like just rubbing on the dragon. They was just like, like they ready to go. Daemon's so hurt, so the dragon just give you, what I mean, probably give him a lot of comfort and stuff like that. So that's it. They named her as the queen, the heir. They did a whole ceremony about it, and then they at the same time they show Daemon leaving on Caraxes. Y'all, I know that was an hour and 11 minutes. Anybody that stuck with me, even 20 minutes, I love you. But going forward, I'm trying to tell you, you are going to love my recaps. I'm going to do them better than this. My life just been a little crazy, but now I'm getting back in the flow. Watch. So tomorrow, you'll see episode 2, the way I do that. That's how my reviews are going to be more streamlined, more organized, things like that. Okay, so thank you. I'm very excited about the show, and I would like for you to take the journey with me, and of course like my video if you like it, and subscribe if you just want to subscribe, because I found out recently it looked like they have a limit on YouTube subscribers now. So that's probably why people be losing subscribers, and they always think YouTube taking their subscribers away. But no, we don't know. I always thought, there's no limit to how many and I shouldn't even be saying this because look, this hurt me. But I'm full disclosure. It's all good. So I didn't know that, but and it's like if you have a channel and you got lots and lots and lots of subscribers, your subscriber limit goes up. So some of y'all, might just have unlimited subscribers. So anyway, all right, y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for watching. Peace. Be back soon. Tomorrow, next day, something like that. All right.